Assalamu alaikum viewers. My name is Alina Chowdhury and I'm going to read you a tale of two sisters written by Kim Ji-woon. In a faraway kingdom there lived two girls, Rosie and Daisy. Daisy was the eldest, Rosie was the younger one. They lived in a castle. They were princesses. Daisy was really mean and selfish. She loved to hurt anyone, including her sister. Daisy was kind to her father. The king would hand over the kingdom to her in the future. Rosie was really kind, loving, and helpful. She never complained to her father. One day, the king decided to divide the kingdom into two halves for his daughters. The king asked Daisy, "Daisy, what is it that you like the most in the whole world?" Daisy thought if she uttered pearls or jewels, her father might be displeased and give the kingdom to Rosie. Instead, she lied. "Daddy, of course it is you!" When it was Rosie's turn, she smiled and said, "Oh, Daddy, there are millions of things I like, but the best ones are rainbow, smiling babies, helping people, and seeing people smiling." The king's face turned red. With anger, he punished Rosie by asking her to leave the kingdom for a week. Rosie left the castle. She started walking out when she heard someone sobbing. It was a coconut tree. Rosie inquired about the reason for the sobbing. The tree answered that none of them had watered it in a few days and hence it may die. Rosie said, "Don't worry, my friend, I'll help you." There was a lake nearby and she dug a canal from the lake to the tree so that the coconut tree could be watered. The coconut tree was happy and thanked her. Rosie waved the tree and resumed her journey. She saw a cow and a calf crying. She went near them and calmed them. The calf cried, "My mama hasn't had any hay for many days. If this continues, she won't be able to feed me. I'll starve to death. Our master is not here. If he had been here, he would have fed my mum." Rosie reassured the calf not to worry. She went in search of some hay and grass. She returned with a bundle of hay. This was more than sufficient until the owner returned. Having been thanked by the mother cow and the calf, Rosie smiled and walked ahead. She heard voices crying and searched for them. It took some time for her to realize that they were coming from down below. It was the cries of ants. She inquired of them. The ants spoke between the cries. They said, "There was a downpour and it splashed our ant hill." Rosie came up with an idea. She said, "I can go collect some mud and help you build your anthill in a better area." Rosie succeeded in the task. The ants jumped in happiness and thanked her. As she walked further along, she entered a forest. She saw a hut. She was so tired of walking and helping others. She wanted to rest and so knocked on the door. An old lady opened the door. Rosie asked her if she could have some food and take rest. In turn, she would do all the work in her house. The old woman invited her in and gave her some food to eat. Rosie didn't tell the old woman that she was a princess because she didn't want the old lady to treat her like one. Rosie stayed in the hut and did all the work for a week. Rosie told the woman she had to leave for the next day. She requested the woman if she could have a shampoo and soap. The woman gave them along with a dress that she requested. The woman gifted Rosie a box and instructed her to only open it in her room. She started to walk back towards the castle. She met the ants. They gave her gems and jewels. During her return journey, the cow and calf's master had returned and gave Rosie milk, sweets, and dairy products, and the master also asked some people to carry the milk to Rosie's milk. Finally, she met the coconut tree, and it gave her some coconuts. The coconut tree whispered, "These are special coconuts. Wait and only open them in your room." Rosie reached the castle. She knocked on the door. The king opened the door and was shocked to see a girl. He asked, "Who is it?" Rosie was stunned. She replied, "Daddy, it's me, Rosie, your daughter." The king couldn't believe his eyes. He asked Rosie, "How did you become so pretty? And how did your long hair grow so long?" Rosie didn't know that she was pretty. She went and looked in the mirror. She was glowing. Rosie jumped and pleaded at her dad, "Let us go to my room and open these gifts." She was amazed at the jewelry, which was shining like the sun. She took one out, a new one replaced the old. Opened to the gift from the coconut tree. They looked like normal coconuts, but as she opened them, the gold coins poured out. As Rosie kept taking the coins in, kept refilling, Rosie requested her dad to give the jewels to everyone in the kingdom. Daisy was jealous. She told her father she was going to study in another kingdom, but she had other plans. She went to the place where Rosie went. She came across the tree. The tree pleaded with Daisy to water it. Daisy yelled, "Never! My dress will get dirty." She proceeded farther and encountered the cow and calf who needed hay. Daisy replied in a tone, "No! If I give you some, my hands will get dirty." She kicked them and started to walk away. She saw the ants who sought her help to build their anthill. Daisy answered, "No, I'm allergic to ants and mud." She walked away. She reached the woman's house. She shouted, "Oh, lady, I'm the princess of a kingdom, and I've come to honor you by staying in your house for a week." The old woman replied, "Please do stay at my house and help me with the cooking and other things." Daisy yelled, "No, I'm a princess. I'm not doing that. You do the chores. I'm never going to do such things in a dirty house like this." The lady cooked and cleaned. A week went by. Daisy announced, "I need to bathe before I go back to my kingdom, and I need soap, shampoo, and a dress with sequins." The woman got her everything she wanted. Daisy asked the woman to give her gifts, more than what she gave Rosie. The woman gave the gifts. Daisy began to walk away without thanking her. As she started to walk back, she met the ants. The ants started to walk away without thanking her. As she started to walk back, she met the ants. The ants started biting her legs and face. She met the cow and calf who kicked her. The tree was next. It started to throw coconuts on Daisy's head. Her head began to swell with bumps. She said, "Please don't hurt me," and she ran away. She was near the castle and couldn't contain more suspense and wanted to open her gift. So, when she opened it, she was greeted by a swarm of bees and weeds. She threw the box away and ran to the castle. She knocked on the door and the king came out. Daisy cried, "Daddy, it's me, Daisy!" The king said, "That can never be. This isn't my Daisy. My Daisy has long hair and wears a beautiful dress." Daisy was astonished by the king's statement and touched her head, but she was bold. She shouted, "No!" Daisy told the king that she always troubled Rosie and explained to the king in detail about what happened when she went to the woman's house and promised her father that she'll never hurt anyone and won't be jealous anymore. She learned her lesson and lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoy my story. Don't forget to watch, like, and add a comment. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to ZMC TV.